Black and White Network, we are back with another video, and we're going to be talking a little bit of politics here because we're going to be talking about a poll that was conducted, and it's really a telltale sign of where the 2024 election could be heading. And boy, if your name is Joe Biden, you are in a lot of trouble. A lot of trouble. We're roughly almost a year into Joe Biden being in the Oval Office. And I must admit, man, 2021 went by pretty fast. I cannot wait to fast forward to 2024 because I have had enough of Mr. Biden destroying this country. So we're going to be diving into this poll, folks, and it's really a telltale sign, like I said. But first, make sure you guys go over to blackandwhitenetwork.com. We have exclusive content over there just for members. I put up a members video this morning because even this topic right here, I cannot talk about it here on YouTube. So I made it a members video. Memberships just start at $5 per month. We have member live streams. We had one this past Saturday. Whole lot of fun. Private videos. And if you're a silver member, you actually get to be on a panel on member-only live streams. So pick up a membership today. Here we go, guys. Poll. 60% of Republicans want Trump to seek another term. Only 37% of Democrats want Biden to. So, guys, this tells you everything you need to know. Even the Democrats do not like Joe Biden, the most popular president in U.S. history with over 81 million votes. And they don't want this guy to run again? Wow. I have a whole bunch of things I can actually say, but I'm going to keep quiet since we're actually here on YouTube. I mean, 60% of Republicans for Trump, but it's really a bad sign when your own party does not support you at all. And Mr. Biden doesn't have any support whatsoever. So let's go ahead and dive a little bit into this article here on Newsbreak, okay? It says here, Republicans are far more enthusiastic about former President Donald Trump running again for the White House in 2024 than Democrats are about Joe Biden seeking a second term, according to the December I&I Tip poll released on Tuesday. Among Republicans, 60% said they wanted Trump to run again for president in the next election, while only 37% of Democrats want Biden to try for a second term in 2024. And guys, Trump getting 60%, and we know that Ron DeSantis is out there. Ron DeSantis didn't come close to the support that Trump is getting in this poll. Not even close. Biden, on the other hand, his own VP is a bit closer, but man, it tells me that the Democrats have no plan whatsoever because they have nobody that they really trust to be the party's nomination in 2024. Check this out. Among registered voters from whichever party, 24% said they wanted Trump to run again, while 22% said they wanted Biden to do so. So this is a combination of Democrats and Republicans here, and Trump still gets more support by 2 points. This is a bad sign, for Biden. And we know that Trump gets a lot of bad press coverage because the media hates him. He's not a part of the establishment. And Biden, he's a part of the establishment, okay? Now, here's the telltale sign, and I believe this is where elections are won. Independent voters. Check this out. Among independents, 17% want Trump to run in 2024 compared to just 8% for Biden. I mean, that is a huge margin right there. A massive margin difference right there. 17 to 8, 11 percentage point advantage for Trump over Biden among independents. And we've seen other polls before. They're saying if the election was held today, Trump will win. And he probably will win in a landslide. Now, here we go. None of the other 15 other potential Trump challengers for the GOP nomination listed in the poll were close, with Florida Governor Ron DeSantis the highest at 11% backing among Republicans. So this just tells you, folks, that Trump is the Republican Party. He just is. DeSantis is great, but overwhelmingly, people still want Trump in the Republican Party. And it says, followed by former Vice President Mike Pence at 9%, not sure at 5%, and no one else getting more than 3%. And there's rumblings about Liz Cheney, the rhino, talking about running for president. She might as well just give up. She will not get hardly anybody to vote for her. And she needs to be primaried out there in Wyoming. I don't know what they're thinking out there. But it goes on. It says on the Democrat side, Biden's own Vice President Kamala Harris garners 16% of the party's nomination among Democrats, with 13% not sure and no one else getting more than 3%. So Biden, only 37% want him to run, but Kamala Harris only gets 16%. And she's not well liked whatsoever. And then only 3 percentage points behind, 13% say they don't really know. Wow. Among minorities, Biden has more support than Trump. Now check this out. 25% to 10% among black voters. This is bad for Biden right here. He's only getting 25% black support, and Trump is getting 10%. So it's not a surprise that Biden actually got more support for black voters, but that margin is not very good for him. Not very good whatsoever. And we saw in the last election, Biden got more black voters than any Republican in decades. He did. And it says 27% to 14% among Hispanics. Not good for Biden either, because I've talked about this before. Out here in Texas, the Valley flipped from blue to red because of that border. Biden's border policy is a disaster. And I believe the border is going to be a huge selling point in the next election. Biden receives more support than Trump in heavily urban areas, 28% to 17%. Not really surprising, because these cities are usually run by Democrats, been run to the ground, if that, But it says Trump wins in the suburbs and rural areas, 24 to 19% and 37% to 16%. The poll of 1,013 registered voters was conducted online from December 1 through the 4th by Technometrica Market Intelligence and INI polling partner, with a margin of error of plus or minus 3.2 percentage points. So there you have it, guys. Not looking good for Mr. Biden. Inflation run amok. The Afghanistan thing has really, really crippled Biden. He's not going to be able to recover from this, and he's making inflation worse. I mean, this is just, the country's in a real, real bad spot, And you know what? Maybe, just maybe, people will wake up in 2024 and not vote for Biden, and they'll end up voting for Trump. I believe that, truly do believe, folks, that you're going to have Biden voters voting for Trump if they actually go head to head again in 2024. No doubt about it. It could be like the 81 presidential election when Ronald Reagan ran against Jimmy Carter. Jimmy Carter was an absolute disaster, and Ronald Reagan won in a landslide. I mean, it was an absolute destruction. That's what we could actually be looking at here in 2024. That's just my thoughts on this. What do you guys think of this? Black and White Network fans, let us know what you think about all this in the comments. Make sure to subscribe to the channel, and we'll catch you next time.